We're back on the Lobo basketball pregame show. New Mexico has Boise State in the pit. It's a late night affair, a 9:10 p.m. scheduled tip-off with a possible slide to 9:15. We're joined by Lobo head coach Richard Pitino. Let's start with that, Coach Pitino. These make for long days with these late starts. How do you change up the routine, if you do, for a start time like this?
I think you're trying to upset me right off the bat with reminding me of what time the game started. It is what it is. I mean, it's frustrating, but there's nothing we can do to control it. I'm grateful for the fans that do show up. I know it's hard, family, kids, all these things, but you get to play on TV. You know, I'll take Mountain West Network. I don't care about playing on TV, but nevertheless, Friday night in the pit, amazing opportunity versus a team. They're sitting in second, we're sitting in first. Another quality win opportunity that we got to do our very best to take advantage of.
Yeah, one team with one loss, the other with two. You're playing the team that was picked preseason to be the favorite, to win the league. And we know it starts with Tyson Degenhart with Boise State. How has he looked on tape this year?
Yeah, you know, he's been smart. You know, I think a little bit of it is he's a veteran. He's picked his spots. You know, he can go off at any time. He's always been really good versus us. He's a warrior. I got a lot of respect for him just as a person, to stick it out and, you know, create a legacy at Boise. It's what it's all about. You know, we got a guy like Donovan's been here 3 years. Hopefully he finishes his career this way. And Boise community appreciates Degenhart, and hopefully an Albuquerque community appreciates Donovan.
You know, it feels like forever since the Lobos played a Boise State team that did not have Max Rice on it. What does the team look like without him?
Well, they're still really good. Now, Rice had a threat of taking some wacky shots and making them. He did it in our building last year. It was a close game. 5 minutes ago, tied up, and all of a sudden he's throwing things up from his hip. So that'll be a welcome sight to not have. You know, he was a warrior, a winner. Doesn't mean they don't have other guys that can certainly do that. I mean, Cardenas was a great get from San Jose, and you know, one of the best point guards in the league.
Yeah, Alvaro Cardenas, a terrific player for the Spartans, now finishing up his career with Boise State. How has he looked different, if he has at all, with the Broncos?
He's got a little stronger. You know, I think San Jose obviously beat us, so not a knock on them, but obviously Boise's a little bit of a better team, and when you put him around some really good players, he's going to make you pay. So a terrific, typical kind of European type point guard who's got great court vision, does a lot of good things.
They have a sophomore named Andrew Meadow who has really ramped up his game. I'm expecting to still see the horn-rimmed glasses, but he's cut the hair. What about on court? How has he changed into a real key player for them?
Big, strong, tough, plays hard, makes a shot. You know, they're like a typical Big Ten team. You know, and he's had a good freshman year. He's taking that jump, much like we're hoping with True. He continues to take that jump. Meadow does that. So plays with a high level of physicality at the guard spot.
Lobo head coach Richard Pitino is with us. Pregame, New Mexico has Boise State in the pit. Coach, fans have noted that your team looks like a Big Ten team this year, more than maybe it ever has since you arrived in 4 seasons. You've gotten bigger, you've gotten longer, you've gotten tougher. You showed that against a team like San Diego State here in the pit. But maybe it was just a toughness play or two that you weren't able to make down the stretch against San Jose State?
Exactly right. Got 2 stops at the end. You know, McClendon puked one in. He just threw it up there and got, you know, a little bit lucky, made a tough shot. But we got stops twice and we're not able to get the rebound. And, you know, our intensity on the glass for San Diego State was phenomenal. And it just wasn't for the last 5 seconds of that game, you know. So we're not as ashamed of losing to San Jose as I think other people are. I mean, it's tough to win in this conference versus anybody. Doesn't matter what the environment is. Beating a team twice is always very, very hard. So San Jose's played everybody close. They just got us 1 or 2 more plays, but we played hard and did some things. I mean, you say we look like a Big Ten team. Well, I would say we look like a bad offensive Big Ten team right now. We're just not making shots. And so we just got to embrace it, and it'll come around. I mean, we've obviously shown the ability to have some big-time offensive nights, but as long as the defense and the intensity is there, we'll be right there in a lot of games.
Lobo head coach Rich Pitino is with us pregame. New Mexico has preseason Mountain West favorite Boise State in the pit. Speaking of the rebounding battle, they're averaging more than 9 more rebounds per game than their opponents. That's tops in the league and 10th in the country. How do they do it? Are they a gang rebounding team?
They're big and strong. I mean, that's the biggest thing. They've got the size advantage on you. So if our guys try to out-jump them, kind of like Stoff did with Uduje at the end of the game, we're not going to get the rebound. So we've just got to, it's got to be, an absolute clinic fundamentally with blocking out. And if it's not, they're going to hurt us. I mean, Stanley has hurt us on the glass many times. So, the biggest thing they are is big and strong. And, we just got to have a will to go get the rebound.
Maybe their most important newcomer is a transfer from NAIA Indiana Wesleyan, Javen Buchanan. What kind of a player is he?
Nice player. I like him a lot. Skilled. Not Degenhardt. Obviously, Degenhardt's a great player, but similar in a lot of ways of what they use him at. So, good player for them. Kind of a good, we've seen that in this league, like Colorado State's taken some guys, Wyoming's taken some guys, and they've been very effective, and certainly Buchanan is that as well.
Coach, you talked about the great response that your team had to the loss to New Mexico State. You need another one here following a loss to San Jose State. How has the run-up to this one been for your squad?
Yeah, it's been good. I mean, we were disappointed that we lost, but it was the best start in Mountain West history for the Lobos. Hadn't lost in over a month, so disappointed, but I love the way we competed. I didn't think we played poorly by any means. Offensively, we made plays down the stretch. We just didn't get that rebound when we needed to. So, our mentality is the same every day. It really is. Win, lose, or whatever. It's so very early, I think, because of social media. We see bracketologies and we see all this and we get all fired up. Like, we got over 2 months to go. So every team, every coach deals with that part of it. So you got to be very consistent with your approach, and our guys have done that.
I wanted to ask you this. With the changes in the way your team looks this season, with no House and no Mashburn and no Toppin, how do you think Boise State might guard you?
Well, I mean, they're primarily a man-to-man team. They went a little bit of 1-3-1 last year and hurt us in our building. What we're struggling with is the ability to make shots. Jalen and Mash could always do that. So we lost a lot. And a lot of teams did. But when you sit there and you lose 3 starters and 3 key guys, to be sitting after 7 games, the first place is great. So, I think everybody's been switching our ball screens with the 4, and they do a little drop coverage or down coverage with the 5. But we expect to see kind of toes below the 3-point line, man-to-man.
Final question. You mentioned that you're not making shots, and we feel you have capable shot makers. Confidence is such a strange thing. It's a kind of a chicken and egg thing. Do you need it to make shots? Do you make shots to get it? How do you get it started? You're so consistent in the way that you approach every single work day with your team. Is that the thing? Is that really just keeping it the same, and then the work is going to, ultimately show through?
I hope so. I mean, I'm not going to say something to a player that's going to drastically change their shooting percentage. They know I have confidence in them. They know I want them to shoot it when open. And if you're not making shots, bring something else to the table. And, I think CJ and Phillip and True, when they have those off shooting nights, you got to bring something else, and guys have got to be ready to go. So, I'd love to make every shot. I'd love to, but what I know we can't control is the defensive and rebounding side of it, and that's really, really improved, and it's got to continue to get better.
Great stuff, Coach. Thank you so much. Best of luck against Boise State tonight.
Thank you.
Lobo head coach Rich Pitino, our guest pregame. New Mexico and the Broncos coming up on the UNM Sports Radio Network.
Back courtside, postgame in the fabulous pit. The Lobos rout Boise State 84-65. Final. You're locked into the Albuquerque Downs Racetrack and Casino postgame show. Winning entertainment, including simulcast racing, live music, dining, the best games, and more. That's the Albuquerque Downs Racetrack and Casino. We're joined courtside postgame by Lobo head coach Richard Pitino. New Mexico 84, Boise State 65 is the final. Coach, no Lobo basketball team had ever led a Mountain West opponent by as many as you did today. 27-point lead at the half is the biggest halftime margin enjoyed by a Lobo team in the history of the league, dating back to 1999. Your team was incredible in the first half.
Yeah, defensively just flying around, rebounding the basketball, and then that allowed us to get out on the break. That's a deadly combination when we're able to do those things. So team defense was great. I think our effort is just so good right now. We're so disruptive and just playing really, really hard because Boise State's a terrific team.
Coach, congratulations. I thought you're dead on with that intensity defensively. I thought that set the tone. But offensively, 22 assists. I mean, I thought, we saw Washington kind of mature right before our eyes where he was looking to pass first before shooting the ball.
Especially on the break,
yes.
Right? He's been way better at that. We watched, I forget what game it was, we watched all of his attempts on the break, and he's just ducking his head, and he's trying to make things happen. He was way more under control. Defensively, he really bothered Cardenas. Yes. Cardenas is a terrific player. He had 7 turnovers, which was great as well. Degenhardt's always going to get his. But, yeah, it's just we've embraced the defensive side of it, and when you do that, the offense will come, and it did tonight.
One of the focuses of late has been your team's difficulty to make the three-pointer. And tonight, the basket opened up, and you had 7 different players make a three. We talk about your team being capable, and tonight they were able to knock them down 7 out of 15.
Yeah, and we're taking good shots. Like, I think last year at times we'd force some stuff. I don't think this team takes bad shots. True, we'll get a little wacky from time to time, but we're pretty good there. And I just thought the patience offensively when we were in the half court to find each other was great. And we've got capable shooters. We really do. That last game for San Jose, we couldn't knock them down, but today we did. We just told them, there's nothing I can say to you guys. Just put in the work. Just put in the work and be confident.
I think you talked about it early before the season even started, that you thought you had a better passing team this year. And I think when they move the ball, they create rhythm, and they're able to knock down shots.
Yeah, no doubt. We're willing, and a lot of that has to do when you have a point guard like Donovan. Everybody's willing to do that. So we still can get better in that department. I really believe that in our half-court offense where we're not getting out on the break. But you just got to be willing to do it. Phillip, 5 assists. True, 5 assists. And then obviously Donovan. That's awesome to see. Phillip was terrific.
Let's rewind back to the 48-21 halftime lead. We mentioned no Lobo team had ever led by as many as 27 at the break. But, Coach, you score 9 in a row. They get 2. Then you score 14 more in a row to end the half. You go on a 23-2 run to end the first half. One of the greatest runs I've ever seen in this building since I started in this position. What did you see during that time?
Defense to offense, turning them over, active hands, flying around, creating turnovers and getting out on the break, and then playing a fun style of basketball. The easiest way to score is to get out on the break or get to the foul line. And so it's just the effort defensively created some amazing things.
Coach, were you surprised defensively that Boise State didn't try to double down on Nelly? They just let you guys play straight up man-to-man, and they didn't help. And he started, I thought, offensively. You guys just started getting the ball into him, and they just couldn't stop him.
Yeah, they're big and physical, and they've always been tough with that. Nelly did a great job of kind of working through our flow, making himself available, and the guys found him. The best way to do it is to not run sets and just let it happen organically. And some of them were high-lows that are hard to trap. But Nelly certainly played a great game.
22 assists on 31 makes. Hunter pointed that out. Your leading assist man tonight. 2 things. First, Donnie sat for 5 minutes there in the second half, and you actually pushed a 22-point lead to 25. You got great bench minutes from a lot of guys today.
Yeah, it's great to see. And it's we love these young guys. They're going to be really good players. Who knows if they all stay? Nobody knows anymore, but you want to give them a taste of it, and you want them wanting more. So it was great to see Cade come in there and take advantage of it. He hit some timely threes as well.
And then defensively, I thought at the second half to start, they turned you guys over, I think, 3 or 4 times with the jump traps. Were you guys prepared for that? Or
no, they were being aggressive with Donovan, and Donovan was trying to get fouls. He was a little too worried about it. Just go play basketball. They were being physical. They had nothing to lose.
They
had nothing to lose. So we got Donnie a little bit of a rest. He recalibrated, refocused, and he was good to go.
One more thing about Donnie, because another game where he passes another Lobo legend, and he passed another of your Lobos. You have 2 of the top 10 assist men in the history of the program that you brought to the University of New Mexico. Donnie just passed Jalen House tonight for 9th on the all-time list. 2 of the top 10 in the history of the program are guys you brought here, Jalen House and Donovan Dent. That's a huge feather in your cap. But what about those 2 young men and what Donnie has done here in his 3 years?
Yeah, I mean, they stayed, right? Nobody's staying anymore. And I think this community, the way they treat these players, makes people think a little bit twice about leaving and going somewhere else. So House had an amazing career. Donovan's having a phenomenal career. Hopefully he ends it here, and he could continue to break some more records.
Coach, congratulations. We talked about the response to a loss on Tuesday in San Jose, and what a response it was.
Yep,
way to bounce back.
Thank you, guys.
Good job, Coach.
Lobo head coach Richard Pitino postgame. New Mexico Aging Services, your one-stop shop for connection, resources, and advocacy. Visit aging.nm.gov to learn more today. Okay, we come back on the other side with more postgame. The Lobos 84, the Broncos 65. New Mexico dominates Boise State in the pit on the UNM Sports Radio Network. Back inside the fabulous pit. Postgame, Lobos 84, Boise State 65. Final 27-point halftime lead. Biggest margin ever for the Lobos in a Mountain West game, and they close it out in style, winning by 19. We're joined post-game courtside on the Albuquerque Downs Racetrack and Casino, winning entertainment including horse racing, live music, downing the best games, and more by Lobo guard CJ Nolan. And CJ, first off, congratulations to you and your team.
Thank you.
What a night in the pit. This must have felt great.
Great night. It was a great night. We got the ball popping, a lot of assists, I believe I seen. 22 assists. Yeah, 22 assists. And great defense, a lot of deflections and a lot of steals. Shoot.
Well, talking about assists, I believe as a player, when you move the ball like that, you create rhythm.
For sure.
Did that help you today in your shot?
Oh, 100%. I think we're a better team when everybody just moves the ball and we're just flowing and playing, freely, for sure.
7 different guys knocked down a 3 tonight, and you guys only made 3 of them back on Tuesday.
Exactly.
It's a funny game, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, it's just a testament to what we do in practice every day. Coach Pitino believing in us, putting the confidence in us every day. I think that the more that, we come out and have these performances, the more that we're going to have them. I think it just stays with it. Testament to Coach Pitino, for real.
Are there shots on the floor that you like? I've noticed you've been very successful with the short corner, that little baseline jump shot.
Yep.
Is that your shot?
And I do like that shot a lot. I added that about a year and a half ago. Okay. I like that little baseline shot for sure.
It looks good.
I appreciate that.
You worked on that with a North Texas team.
I did.
So,
worked on that a little bit.
I was so happy to see 3 go down for you. I know it's been a struggle from the arc of late. I mean, you had a really nice stretch from 3 early in the year in non-conference, and it's been tough recently, and you just kind of stayed the course, haven't you?
Yes, sir. That's all you can do in basketball. I mean, it's a long season. We play every other day almost in conference, so, I mean, you just can't get too low, can't get too high.
Is there something that you do? Is there a routine that you like to follow when things aren't going quite the way you'd like from the outside? Yeah,
I would just say, I mean, I'm always in the gym before practice shooting, but I would say, just shooting more, I would say, and then also resting 2 times as much as well. So I think the rest plays a big part in it for sure.
I always felt as a player, when I played harder on defense, it just felt like offense flowed, right?
Yeah,
and I saw that tonight with you, because you came out with the intensity defensively on the ball, and it flowed for you offensively.
Yes, it did. Yes, sir. It's a good catch. For sure. That's a good catch right there. For sure.
4 of 5 from the floor for you tonight. You got to love that. 1 of 2 from the arc.
100%.
That's efficient.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it is.
There's got to be a push-pull. Like, it's a psychological thing. Like, we're all human, right? There's got to be a push-pull. Okay, I want to look for an open 3 because I really want to make one and kind of get the lid off. And, I'm confident, but it just hasn't been working lately. But then you always hear about wanting to let the game come to you, and kind of coach preaches, do the other stuff.
Yeah.
And then, that open 3 will happen.
Yeah.
How do you let it happen? We always hear that. Let it happen. You're an experienced guy.
You just worry about the things that you can control on the court. Like you said, the defense, the effort part, and then basketball's guys with you one day, then like a day like today, then you're blessed to make some shots on the offensive end. But just come out with the effort and the energy, and then like you said, the rest of the players' part. For sure.
We've seen your effort and your energy, and you bring a lot to this team coming off the bench. And you did that tonight.
I appreciate that. Yes, sir.
There's been an unselfishness too,
sure.
because you've had a chance to start a little bit too. But I can recall Coach Pitino sharing a story with us that he was coming to you to tell you,
that he was going to move you back to the bench, and you told him, Coach, you don't have to explain anything to me. I just want to win basketball games.
Yeah,
where does that come
line.
from?
Yeah, that's bottom line. I just want to win basketball games. I want to make the tournament. That's part of the reason I came here. So I'm going to do anything to help the team. If, Coach wants to sit me, then that's fine, too. I mean, Coach want to play me, start me, that's fine, too. I'm here for the team for sure.
Well, we definitely can see the attitude.
No, we
appreciate that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's a mature voice
yes,
right
it
there,
is.
Hunter.
No, hey, locker rooms are important, and that's a big part of having someone like CJ in the locker room with that type of attitude.
Sure. I wanted to ask you about what it's like playing in this building. You came here to play in the tournament, but, the New Mexico State game, that Nevada win where Nelly hits the foul line jumper, the rout of San Diego State last week, sold-out crowd, 14-5 here tonight. And what's this experience been like for you?
It's been – this is one-on-one of experience for somebody to come here and play, I would say.
Have you noticed that's consistent? When they ask us former players, like, wait, what is it like? And it's like, it's hard to describe.
It really is hard to describe.
It's so emotional.
That's a big part, too. Like, when Nelly hit the shot, I just wanted to break down and cry because it was just like, oh, my gosh. Like, we did it for, everybody in here driving to come to the games and paying their money at the concessions or whatnot. But, I mean, it's like one of none. I mean, it's just a crazy environment. I thank the fans for coming out here, keep on supporting us for sure.
You were in the Big 12. You've been in some gyms now.
They got some gyms. They got some gyms for sure.
But this is one of none.
This is one of none. Only other thing I compare it to is Allen Fieldhouse, but this is crazy. This is crazy. This is
great
nuts.
stuff tonight, CJ.
Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Appreciate
Keep it up, man.
Yes, sir. We'll do. Thank you.
CJ Nolan, Lobo guard. Lobos 84, Boise State 65. Final in the pit. Kanina Scollin is our broadcast producer and engineer. Michael Carlisle, our on-site engineer. My broadcast partner is Hunter Green. I'm Robert Portnoy. Hunter, just wow. I mean, that's 2 weekends in a row. A Saturday national TV audience, 11 a.m. A Friday night national TV audience, 9:15 p.m.
We just want to play home games, right?
The Lobos have dominated two of the best teams in this league in back-to-back weekends.
That's right. And you got Fresno State coming in on Monday,
and let's pack the pit again. Why not?
It's a holiday.
Yeah.
3 o'clock tip, right?
What are you going to do on your afternoon off?
Hey, sleep in,
and
go have some lunch, and come to the pit, right?
Love it. Lobos singe the Nets, 54% floor, Boise 44%. How about the Lobos? 7 3-pointers on 15 tries, 47%. Boise held to 5 of 24, 21%, and a bunch of those makes were late. New Mexico is 15 of 15 at the foul line, Hunter. We didn't even talk about that. How about that?
We're so excited about the 3-point.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
15 out of 15 in the last couple of games have been a little bit of a struggle at the line.
And let's face it, this team is capable of hitting these shots, whether it's free throws or threes. But they've got to figure out how to win when they're not knocking them down, and their defense is getting better. So I think that's going to help carry them through the next 12 games in regular conference.
Lobos win points off turnovers, 20-7. Rebounding battle, dead heat, 20. Win paint points, 42-38. And here's where they really crushed them, 29-10 in the fast break, Hunter.
Yeah, what was those long misses? And
the pick sixes.
Well, yeah, pick sixes. But I thought in the first half, Boise was taking these long shots, and they were long rebounds, and the Lobos are off to the races. So.
Leading to runouts. And your favorite stat of the night, Hunter, 22 assists and 31 field goals.
That creates the rhythm. When guys are moving the ball and their assists, jump shots, I would love to see the stat on, the shooting percentage when they're assisted versus when they're not assisted, right?
Great point. And we saw it tonight. This was team basketball at its best. Lobos' biggest ever halftime lead over a Mountain West opponent dating back to the inception of the league in 99. That's a 27-point advantage at the break here tonight. And UNM cruises to the tape. Yep, they were dominant, leading by as many as 29 in the second half. New Mexico with a summary judgment in this one, without a doubt. Okay. They get balanced scoring, 16 apiece. Dent and Joseph, 13 for Washington, and 11 for Amshiel, 9 for Nolan, and 9 for Borovichinen. Borovichinen misses a double-double by 1 point. A 9, 10, and 5 night for Phillip. 9 points, 10 boards, 5 assists. Unbelievable performance for Borovichinen. Okay. Hunter told you Lobos will play afternoon basketball on MLK Day coming up for you on Monday, and we want you
here at the Pit. Fresno State is coming to town. The Lobos beat them already once here this year in Fresno back on New Year's Eve in the Golden State. The Bulldogs on hand for a 3 p.m. tip, airtime 2:30. That's on Monday, the holiday coming up right here across the UNM Sports Radio Network. This was fun tonight, partner.
It was. And I tell you what, that's a good team. Boise State. Still got to go there and play them, February 19th?
Yes, sir.
But that's a team I wouldn't want to play in the Mountain West Conference tournament.
In
First
fact,
game.
these last 2 weekends, routes of San Diego State and Boise State, the Lobos get them consecutive games on the road, the 19th and the 25th of February.
Okay.
A lot will be told there toward a regular season Mountain
Yes.
West Championship for sure. Okay, that'll do it for us. Stay tuned for Lobos Live, the post-game call-in show with Brandon Ortega and another Lobo legend, Kenny Thomas. For my broadcast partner, Hunter Green, Kane Lena Scollin, and Michael Carlisle, I'm Robert Portnoy. Final score for the final time is the Lobos win in the Pit. Their 8th win in their last 9. The Lobos improved to 7-1 in the league. New Mexico is 15-4 overall. Boise dips to 5-3 in conference and 13-6 on the season. The Lobos rout the Broncos. New Mexico 84. Boise State 65. So long, everybody. You've been listening to Lobo Basketball on the UNM Sports Radio Network.